Welcome back to Argo, everyone. I'm D-Rec, and today we're going to jump right into some more Asia Circuit Champion booster reveals, and finally some AL4 booster reveals. If you guys end up enjoying today's reveals, or find my coverage insightful, be sure to leave a like and click the subscribe button for more content if you guys want to see more content from me. Going into the reveals, we're going to start with the older stuff first, and then move into some of the newer stuff. Starting off, we have a new version of Storm Rider Diamantes. He's a triple rare this time with the Excel marker and 2 abilities. His first ability is auto on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. When it attacks, if it's the first battle of the turn, he gets 3000 power until the end of said turn. And then his second ability is once per turn on a Rearguard Circle. When he attacks, if it's the third battle of the turn or more, counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand to stand him and give him minus 3000 power until the end of turn. By himself, he's a really good restander. The minus 3k is kind of hurtful, but he does help hit those certain battles for Aqua Force, of course. But in combination with the next card, he's just that much better power-wise. So our next card is Trident Shooter. He's a 9k grade 2 and an on Rearguard Circle ability that says at the end of the battle that it attacked a Vanguard. If he's on an additional Rearguard Circle, you can counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and exchange him with one of your other Rearguards. So if you have him on an Excel Circle, attack with him, swap him with Diamantes. If you're at that third battle, you have 2 19k attacks with him. So as long as your opponent doesn't hit a trigger, you're perfectly fine. And in combination with Tidal Assault too. This is really good. Algos as well, but you're going to be running through some resources pretty fast. Next up, moving into D-Police now, we have a new version of Commander Laurel. His new skill is so much better than the original one, I personally believe, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree. His new ability is Act on Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, you can counterblast 1 and rest 4 of your rearguards. You can choose one of your units until the end of turn. Its power is doubled, and you get critical plus 1. Now, the power doubling is only good for its current power when you activate Commander Laurel's skill. You can't give it more power buffs afterwards and then expect those power buffs to then double as well. With the new stuff in Standard, amazing. In Premium, he's even better. There's already 2 stride combos I've already thought of with my friend Iggy that are super duper good. The first one is with Bravest Peak. If you're running the newest version of Grand Gallop Grade 3, you're going to look at a Bravest Peak with an already base 40k power after Stride Break, and then you use the other Cosmic Hero Grade 1 or Grade 2 that doubles your Vanguard's power, and then you use this. You're looking at an 160k Bravest Peak with extra critical, quad drive, and restand with drive -4. If you combo it with Linka, you're looking at quad drive with extra critical and sentinel break if you drive check a grade 3. So that's already a nuts play. And then you have your play with Stark. Stark becomes a 200k attacker because he gets an extra 10k inherent in base power, and then with the stride break it becomes a 50k base, and then with the Cosmic Hero Rearguard you have 100k, and then with Commander Laurel 200k. So 200k extra critical if you use Linka, 204k and Sentinel Break, and then 3 attacks. So super duper good. Next up for D-Police, we have a new version of Masked Police Grandeur. He's a 10k grade 2 this time instead of an 8k, and his new ability is continuous on a Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard's critical is 2 or greater, he gets plus 5k power. Very okay. Maybe a 1 or a 2 of, or more in a budget build, but he's not that great compared to Cosmo Beak or Die Dragon. That is it for Asia Circuit stuff. Moving into the AL4 booster reveals, our first reveal is Knight of Isolation Angus. He's a grade 2 10k base with a continuous ability on a Rearguard Circle that gives him 10k power if he's the only Rearguard on the field. He's a hit or miss. I would say if the big units in the set and in the trial deck have good retire skills like during battle and stuff like that, then I would see him being played just because he's an easy 20k attacker. But if they're not that great, first I'd be disappointed because I'm really looking forward to Shadows, and secondly, if they aren't that great, then this card's not going to be played at all. So it's a hit or miss for him. I'm going to have to wait and see what the new skills do. Next up we have Nightmare Painter. It is 100% a trap. There is no denying that it is a trap. It's a 7k grade 1 with an auto ability on the rear guard circle that says when placed, cost put a grade 1 or lower from your drop zone into your soul, and it gets 3000 power until the end of turn. My same condition with the previous unit. It's a hit or miss. If there are a good chunk of new cards that require soul for cost, then this card's going to be pretty heavily played, but if there isn't, then it maybe would be played as a 1 or a 2-0 for a 10k booster. But aside from that, shoving cards into soul for no reason is kind of unnecessary, even if it's for an extra 3k. And I'm sure there's going to be better cards going into more reveals going forward. And then lastly, for reveals out of the AL4 booster, we have the return of the OG waifu for Shadows. And maybe one of the greatest waifus of all time in this game. I don't care if you're an Asha fan, or a Lolly Bermuda fan, or whatever else fan. Nemain is one of the OG waifus. Undisputed. Cannot be given any lower status or ranking, because she's that good, artwork-wise. And her new artwork does justice to the old artwork, I would say. If you agree with me, definitely, just click that like button, because 1 like equals 1 respect for new Nemain. Her new skill is actually pretty good, too. Her act ability on rear guard circle is rest this unit, search your deck for up to 1 card with 5000 power, call it to rear guard circle, and then shuffle your deck. If the unit called, again, is another copy of Nemain, you can't use her ability, and in general for the rest of the turn. So you can only use Skull Witch Nemain's ability once per turn, regardless of how many copies you play. And the unit you call has to be called to a separate rearguard circle. I just don't like the translation on this text for some reason. It trips me up because it doesn't say separate rearguard circle. It says rearguard circle that this card is not on. So I blame the translator for this, because this, no. Just simplify your wording, please. But this card's actually pretty good. And with the expectation that the cards are going to have a substantial retire cost for their skills, like at least 2 rearguards or 3 rearguards, this is going to come in handy when you need to fill a board relatively inexpensively. That is it for card reveals. Going over some other reveals, we have the OR artwork for Dayusha, Ruin Shade, and Tidal Assault, and then we have the SVR artwork for Great Dayusha, Basskirk, and Maelstrom. So really, really cool. Really a fan of this gold text for the SVRs. And the ORs, I'm happy to see the return of the old Dayusha artwork and the Ruin Shade artwork. I didn't like the rare artwork they did in G-Set 5. And then Tidal Assault, you never really got an artwork change. The Revival Collection just slapped the 1-turn symbol on him, and then that was it. I didn't really get to see a new artwork or anything out of him, so the new artwork for new Tidal Assault's kind of refreshing. I personally like it more than the old one, just because you can actually see what he looks like instead of just a bunch of swirly water effects. So that is it from me for this video. Again, if you enjoyed the video or found my commentary insightful, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. And again, if you want to, it's up to you. Check out the links to my Facebook and Twitter page in the description below. Definitely appreciate you guys helping me on there. Trying to shove out more content on there and just post more frequently about new reveals before I put them in videos, because I like to do reveals in bulk. Just like this one, this is like some of the reveals in here are a few days old, whereas some of them are a few hours old. So, and yeah, that's it for me for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.